Hello everybody, welcome back to episode 22 of Euro Truck Simulator 2 Hard Economy Mod. Today we are in Panevskis here in Lithuania, and we are going to be taking a long journey all the way down to Katowice in Poland. 12 hours and 40 minutes today. I think we might separate this into two episodes. We will see. It depends on how the journey kind of goes. 803 kilometers. First things first, we got to get some gas because we are getting a little bit low on that. So first, my steering wheel's not connected. Let me connect that, and then we will get going. All right, that is better. Now we can go ahead and get this engine started up. Don't know why my windshield wipers are on. Oh, because it was raining. All right, there we go. That would be an obvious reason why. Park and brake off, and I got to kind of go into reverse. I found a rest stop at the end of the last episode and did a little bit of a sleep because obviously I lost $300 from not sleeping. So we're not going to make that mistake again, guys. That was an absolute nightmare disaster that we need to make sure that we never do again. So let's go ahead out of here. I think I need to find a gas station. Is there one? Is there one in this little town area? Yeah, there is. So we can just turn to the right and head on over to that, and then we will be good. Hope you guys are having a good, I guess it's Sunday afternoon as I'll upload this one, because it is almost midnight on Saturday night as I record it, so why would I just upload it now? But hope you guys are having a good Sunday, good finish to y'all's weekends. I've had a pretty good weekend so far. Actually just saw Don Felder in concert about an hour ago. He's a former member and former lead guitarist of the Eagles, who are, of course, one of the most famous rock bands of all time. I'm sure you've definitely heard the song Hotel California before. Peaceful Easy Feeling you've probably heard as well. Already Gone, just a bunch of songs of theirs that are absolutely fantastic. Let's go ahead and fill up. Diesel at €1, 10 cents per liter. And it is expensive to fill this big truck up with fuel. We've basically been, hovering around 112, 113,000 for a while. All these tickets I've gotten have really prevented me from, kind of making any money at all. And when you got to pay for your own gas, it is expensive. All right, let's get started up. Park and brake off, and off we go. What is this engine light that's on for, this yellow light? I'm not sure the reason for that being on, because I don't have is the retarder on by accident? Let's see. Let's stop, turn it off, turn it back on. Yeah, I don't know. It's not lights, it's not windshield wipers, it's not brights. Nothing's wrong with the truck. That's kind of strange then. I wonder if that's a glitch? I have no idea. But we got 17 tons of almonds today that we got to take to Poland, so hopefully there's not any sorts of problems with the truck. As I was saying, though, we have had our fair share of troubles, and it's made us essentially barely been able to break even the last couple episodes. So, I mean, actually we're down to 111.5 now, and obviously this delivery is going to get us 1,100, which is about what it was to fill up. And, I mean, we got 10 hours until our next rest stop, so we're going to have to rest and deliver it, at nighttime. And basically this means today with the fuel cost will basically be a loss. So we'll just have to slowly chip away because, we're also going to have our loan installment. So I guess with the fuel, owning a truck isn't as advantageous as I thought to not owning one. I'm not really sure. I mean, I do enjoy owning one. But it just makes you wonder if, how much more I'm really making. I'm sure I am making more. Well, that's a weird 90-degree turn, buddy. That is a video game turn right there if I ever saw one. But I'm sure I'm actually making more money owning a truck, but it's probably not all that much. I just have to, avoid getting tickets, avoid really getting in trouble now, and I should have just accepted the late delivery and lost some money off of it. So we learned our lesson in the last episode. I talked about this year not making any mistakes. But I guess sometimes you just gotta accept that, you know, sometimes you learn as you go, right? And that is a learning experience to definitely make sure I rest before I dig into doing things properly. Make sure I'm well rested. That's gonna be a key to learn going forward. It's so easy to just want to start over in this game, or not start over, but like each delivery just start at a fresh point and say no more mistakes. But you know, mistakes are gonna happen. We just try to limit them as much as we can, I guess. It's kind of a theory for the game and a theory for life in general, I guess. You're never gonna have a clean slate and keep a clean slate. There's always gonna be something that, you know, that's not perfect. Whoa, Track IR is spazzing out a little bit there. There's always gonna be something that's not perfect, so you just kind of have to make it as good as you can. But we'll make sure we don't get any speeding tickets heading out of the city here, and back into the countryside we go. Looks like we'll be following this truck to the right. Nice wide turn, very well done. Alright, Panevskis, I enjoyed your city. Did not enjoy your police. But I did enjoy your town, and now we will head on out and head on down to Poland, which is at minimum at least a quarter of my ancestry, so I'm actually more Polish than I am any other. I'm a mix of a bunch of ethnicities, but I'm more Polish than I am anything else, so kind of a tour of my heritage today. It'll also be a new country for the video, or for the episodes, for the series, should I say, because we haven't been to Poland yet. We've been to all the Scandinavian countries, and all of the Baltic countries, but we haven't yet been to any of the countries from the Going East expansion pack. I've driven around Poland a ton in previous profiles, so I know it quite well. Man, is this guy driving slow. Take your time, buddy. What do we have? Let's see. Next rest stop in 10:23. We have 26 hours to make this delivery, though, so I think we'll be more than fine. We have until 7 a.m. tomorrow, and it's currently 5:41 a.m., so I don't think there's much of a concern with that. But now that we're on the highway, I'll get back to the normal conversation. It's kind of tricky to talk and drive through these towns a little bit. There's just a lot going on. When you're out in the countryside, you can enjoy the scenery a little bit more and kind of just explore a little bit, shall I say. But anyway, I saw Don Felder. He was a guitarist to the Eagles, and he basically played a bunch of Eagles songs, which was awesome. I really enjoyed it. The Eagles are probably one of my favorite bands of all time, so I really got to enjoy hearing a lot of those songs. Unfortunately, Glenn Frey, who was one of the lead singers of the Eagles, passed away a year and a half ago. So, unfortunately, the Eagles, they still tour without him, but it's not the same. It's not, you know, when it's one of the main members of the band, it's never going to be the same. So, you know, he did a song for him and dedicated one song to him, actually. It was one of the songs that Glenn wrote. They all kind of wrote songs in the band, but Glenn wrote a lot of them, and that was kind of a touching moment, should I say. But I'll never get to see the band as a whole, unfortunately, because I never saw them before Glenn passed away. So, I at least got to see the guitarist, though, which is pretty cool, because he played, you know, he played Hotel California, played the riff the same way, I mean, with the same guitar, because it's still him. And, you know, he did have some vocals in some of the songs, and I was definitely able to recognize which ones were his, because it sounded just like the original song. So, overall, he was pretty good. And I go to a lot of concerts, so I've definitely seen concerts that weren't good, and I definitely would say this was a good one. It didn't absolutely blow me away, but it was definitely, I would say, a solid. It was probably average in terms of how good it was for most of the concerts I go to, which average, of course, means very good, because most of the concerts I've been to have been very good, so I have nothing bad to say about it at all. The cool thing is that the concert was actually at the auditorium at my university, which is a quarter-mile walk from where I live, probably, and I love that. I love just being able to, you know, actually walk to a concert, which is really cool, versus, you know, having to drive into the city and having to do all that jazz. It's just so cool to actually be able to do it do it by walking and not have to worry about parking, not have to worry about commute, traffic, getting out of the thing. And that's just such a great thing about living in the city, is not having to worry about driving at all. That's I don't know if I've talked about this in this series before, but one thing for me is definitely wanting to live in the future of my life in a place where I don't need a car. I'll always have a car because, you know, sometimes you want to go out to the country, go out to some parks, hiking, all that kind of stuff. You need a car. But, you know, I definitely want to not use a car on a day-to-day basis, and I don't now. I have not used a car on a day-to-day basis in years. I mean, I think the last year I've been lazy and started to use it a little bit to go to the grocery store when I have other options to get there. And I do need it to get to the airport a couple days a week. There is a shuttle, but it leaves very early in the morning, and it's only every 3 hours. So, like, if I'm only going to be there for an hour, I'd have to, you know, sit around for 2 hours. So it's just advantageous to drive. Oh, buddy, what are you doing? You should have waited. You should have waited. Wow. Well, that's fine, because we got to slow down to 50, but we just got cut off again. Seems to be happening a lot in this game. SCSs really need to take a look at that. But anyway, I just love being able to walk everywhere, take public transit, especially walk. Walking is absolutely the best way to get from one place to another. Keeps your exercise up, keeps your steps up. It's just a good way to get around, in my opinion. So I kind of enjoy being able to live that kind of lifestyle. But the concert was great, and that's basically been my entire weekend. Tomorrow, I am probably going to fly the Piper Arrow for the first time, which should be exciting. It depends on the weather. If the weather's bad, then I obviously will not be doing that. But we'll see what the weather ends up being. Hopefully it's going to be good. I think it's supposed to be sunny, but if it's too windy, then I'm not going to be able to fly. So we'll see. I just got to make sure I get a good night's sleep tonight. That way I'm all good to go. Look at this guy. He didn't even have his turn signal on. The AI are just... I'll deflect from what I was talking about and rant about the AI for a little bit in this game. I think that the AI are very frustrating and problematic, to say the least. I think that it's something that SCS really needs to look at. I know they're doing a lot of map expansions, and those are great. I mean, I'm enjoying this map expansion so much. I'm going to be sad to leave this area, which I did officially decide that I'm going to head down into Italy and France now, and then come back to complete the rest of the Baltic areas, because I feel like if you just go around one area once and then never come back, you don't really get the best feel for it. I think that the best way, personally, to get a feel for a place, especially in real life, but also in a game, is to go there twice on separate occasions. That way you can have a memory of it, and that way you can kind of go back and explore it again. In my opinion, that is the best way to explore, the best way to see new areas. So I don't know. That's just kind of my thoughts on that whole thing. But I'm gonna head down, and this will be my last video in the Baltics for quite a while, probably until the fall, and then we will revisit it eventually. Obviously, I'll have to get back to Stockholm, my home, at some point. I gotta finish Scandinavia. There's still a lot of cities in Sweden, I think especially in like southeast Sweden, that I haven't even seen yet, so we'll have to go to those. Alright, Kaunas, 50 kilometers an hour speed limit here. Yeah, I thought this was a city. It's kind of big city limits, because we are way on the outside of it here. The speed limits are so low in Europe too with the trucks, which is frustrating, but that's just the game being realistic. It is frustrating to have it like this though. I wish... Oh, why is my track IR keep doing that? That keeps, like, twitching on me. It's very annoying. But I wish the game was, you know, had higher speed limits, but that's just them being realistic. I wish Europe had higher speed limits for trucks. I think the fastest is 90, which is, like, 60 miles an hour. When compared to, like, an American highway, you know, you can go 70 no matter what. There's no different speed limit for trucks in the U.S. I think maybe California has a different limit. I don't know. But in most of the United States, at least in all the states that I've ever driven in, it's the same for trucks as it is for cars, which obviously means you can get around a lot quicker. But I guess that's just the way the cookie crumbles. What can I say? Haven't played any MLB The Show yet. Haven't really just gotten around to it. Last night I ended up getting distracted by my good old friend Mr. Internet. And then I didn't really get around to getting done with the MLB YouTube series, so I think I'm going to record that one tonight and then possibly upload that. Maybe I'll do 2 videos on Sunday. I know I said I was gonna do 3 videos this weekend, and you know, obviously today kind of came and went, so I just uploaded my one from yesterday today because it was so late anyway. I didn't think it through that it was late. Well, let's slow down, not get a speeding ticket. These barriers are interesting, the orange and the blue and the white. Kind of a weird, I wonder if there's a village back there? No, there's really not. I don't know why there's barriers like that. I also don't know why the speed limit goes down right in this area. Is it back up to 90 here? Yes, it is. A lot of times it slows down for the bridge, but not right there. That was kind of interesting. Don't really know what exactly is up with that. Hey, 4,910 kilometers on the truck. We're almost at 5,000 kilometers driven, which is pretty impressive. I think this delivery is going to be like a 5th of our all-time deliveries, or 6th or 7th of our all-time deliveries in this truck, because it's just a very long drive. But that's kind of exciting to see us reach a little bit of a milestone. I know that loan installment's going to go out for another $1,000, so as I said, let's put that retarder on, slow it down, back down to 90. Okay, is the cruise control still on? No, it turned it off. I don't know why the engine retarder doesn't automatically come on to reduce my speed when the cruise control is on, which is what it should do. But for some reason, it just doesn't seem to be doing that, and I don't know why. Alright, we'll take this road towards Warsaw. How close are we to Poland? We gotta be getting near the border. Yeah, we're almost there. So this is a road that I've never been on before. I don't even know if have I been to Białystok in Poland? I'm not sure. I know we'll be driving through it. Don't know if I've ever actually been there. It's clear from that way. We'll go ahead and pop on in here. What's the speed limit going to be? Is it back up to... Okay, it's 80 on this road. That's what I thought. The 2-lane roads are 80 in Lithuania, and the 4 lanes seem to be 90. Oh, that guy got pulled over. Ouch. I know your pain, because I've had that happen to me many, many times. All the cops are everywhere. There's another one. They're just absolutely everywhere in this game. It's so incredible. I will say it would be nice for a bit of a change of scenery. I love this type of scenery. It's kind of what I'm going to be expecting to have in Alaska this summer. Pine trees and all the good stuff, but I'm excited to see Poland's fields again in the farmlands of Poland, which I think in the game is maybe a little more scenic than in real life, but still scenic regardless, especially on a nice summery day. There's a hot air balloon. That's cool. I know I've seen those driving around Poland in the game before. It's one thing that SCS included in their Going East series. Vilnius that way, not going there. That is really beautiful. The sunlight hitting off it real nicely. Kind of a cool thing to see. And it's already kind of opening up a little bit as we approach the border, which should be somewhere up here. We're getting fairly close. Feeling 1,000 meters, so maybe that's kind of it. Also interesting that it says 1,000 meters than it does kilometers. Alright, is our speed limit dropping up here? Yeah. Whoa, whoa. 30, holy moly, that came out of nowhere. Man, there's like no room. How is they gotta just close down one lane and open up the other one. Luckily, there's nobody ahead of me. Nice random event, SCS, but I think there should have been a flagger, because how is a car supposed to pass me going the other way? I don't really know how that's even possible. That's a very interesting situation right there. I have no idea. But luckily nobody else was coming the other way. We didn't have to worry about it. Another thing I noticed is that I really should not have this Christmas ball up here anymore. I think I gotta visit a mechanic shop and get something new for the dashboard. Maybe something spring-oriented a little bit, so I can kind of drive around and actually have proper seasons and all that. Which I guess it's good that I'm going south now, because being that it is spring in real life, we'll get some realistic scenery. I think the trees in the Baltics are probably still very barren at this point, being that they are in Ohio and we're a lot further south than Lithuania. I believe this is our border crossing, though. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I say, welcome to Poland. We have another country checked off. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 9. Is it 9? Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, Finland, Russia. That's 5. Sweden, 6. Norway, 7. Denmark, 8. I think that's all that we've been to. So this is country number 9 for us, which is actually not a bad number at all, but this is the southernmost point that we have ever gone in our journey as well. And it is here in Poland, which is still a pretty northern country, but we'll be making our way down south throughout the next few episodes, so we'll continue to check off more and more countries. Bialystok straight ahead, speed limit back up to 70. Still 8 minutes left in this good old drive. As I said, we'll have to rest. I think what I'm going to do is find... Let's see, where on the map could we rest? Could we rest in Warsaw and then continue the rest of the delivery from there? Or is there a place near Lodz? Why don't we rest here? We will get off at this spot, if it wants to mark the spot. And then we will continue the delivery in the next episode, and then we'll finish it, and then we'll pick another delivery in the middle of the next episode. I think that's a good way to do it, since this is kind of a long delivery. A little bit too long for one episode, I think. Unless you guys like these hour-long episodes, but I'm trying to, you know, not make them all too long at this point. Kind of going for that 30 to 45 minute range. Oh, these trees are really nice. You can definitely tell it's still territory that was built with the Baltic DLC. I think the Baltic DLC had this road in Poland. I think basically everything down until probably this intersection here, which I think already existed, but this little part of Poland is new to the game. So I think once we get past this intersection, we're going to see a drastic drop in the quality. It's still going to be really good though, because the going east is still fantastic. Bialystok, straight Vilnius, back to the left. It seems like every road turnoff is for some reason goes to Vilnius. I don't know why, but that seems like what it is. Are my lights? Okay, they're off. Sun is. Look how beautiful the sun is shining into the cockpit of the truck. That's just fantastic shadows right there. The graphics of this game never fail to amaze me. It's just a beautiful game. It really is. I know that's a cliche thing to say, but for a low-budget PC game like this, the lighting is just absolutely fantastic. I feel like it's almost a bit harsh, and it could be toned down on the road a little bit here, but I mean, it's not necessarily bad. I would say overall, this is about, you know, one of the highest quality lightings I've ever seen in a game. Let's slow down here. Don't get us a ticket. Is that a cop behind us? I don't think it is, but never can be too safe. Alright, we've caught up to another hot air balloon right in front of us this time. It looks like there's a bunch of hawks flying around it too. That's a pretty cool thing. I love the hot air balloons in this game in Poland. And I love seeing sunny weather, although I feel like I have had a lot of sunny weather recently in this game. And not much rain. It seems like when I'm in Sweden it always rains, and then when I'm not in Sweden it's always sunny. But once we get to Italy, it's really going to be sunny. Hello, train! Cargo train right there. I was hoping to see one of the high-speed trains, but not what it is. And why was there only one? There was only a cab. There was no rest of the train. That was weird. Unless there were low cars in front of it, and that was the caboose. That could be what the situation was. What's this yellow sign, too? Is that a yield sign? Are we supposed to yield to them? No, because they have a stop sign. So is it just to alert us that there's people coming from that side? I don't know. I don't know what that sign means. If anyone here is from Poland, let me know. Because I have not noticed that in the game before. I don't think I've driven around Poland on my gaming PC yet. So, you know, I've driven around Sweden a lot, but Poland's mostly been on my laptop, which is much lower quality graphics. And I gotta say, this looks a lot better than, you know, I'm used to the Going East DLC looking like, and it's because I do it on my laptop. I mean, this looks absolutely beautiful and fantastic. The woods definitely aren't as thick as they are in the Going East. That's probably the one thing that I noticed the most different, but overall, it's a pretty dang good looking DLC, in my opinion. Alright, Bialystok showing up on the map. We're getting close. I'm drinking another Guinness, which is I said not to do in the video yesterday. Now I'm here getting back to the old drinking and driving on the game again. I think that would be a good gaming series. People get drunk and play video games. That might be kind of funny. Responsibly and of age, of course. But I think that would be entertaining. What was that? Something just fell in my apartment. I don't know what that was. Hopefully the wind just didn't knock over a bunch of stuff in my living room. I think there's like a storm coming in right now, so I wonder if the wind blew the drapes that are in front of my, or the blinds, I guess. They're like drape style blinds that are in front of my door. I have the door cracked, so if there's a rainstorm coming in, that might have been what it is. We've had some pretty sunny weather the last couple days in Ohio, believe it or not. It's been really nice. I've kind of enjoyed a change. I love cloudy, rainy weather. I live for it. I could go for it every day. But it is nice to see some sunsets every once in a while, some blue sky every once in a while. Nothing wrong with that. And we've had like 3 straight days of it, which for Southeast Ohio, at least in the last year, is unspeakably rare. That just does not happen much. So that was kind of nice to have that for a change. And it reached about 70 degrees today, so we're having some spring weather too. Which is also nice, because I'm also crazy enough to not only love the clouds, but to love the cold. It's going down to 23 in 2 nights, so I'll get my last night of winter. But it is nice to kind of get away from that really cold weather a little bit. I am not a fan of summer, I'm not a fan of the heat. I would love it for just to be 55 all summer, which is what it'll be when I'm in Alaska, I think, so that'll be good. Look at that, there's Bialystok, beautiful. Some of the old buildings right there, I really appreciate those. This is so much better than on the PC. It just looks amazingly higher quality. I gotta say, I can really appreciate the improvement. Bialystok discovered. First city in the Going East DLC. I don't see a Steam award for it, but whatever. Rest up in 4 hours 22, so in about... Then we'll have 2 hours left after that to make our delivery. It seems like most of this delivery was just to get to here. I think we're going to get on proper highways after this, which will help us actually get to our destination quicker. Seems like these Baltic states don't really have a cohesive highway network. Which doesn't really bother me all that much. I mean, any country that supports trains a little bit more is something that I'm going to support. And I know that they do have a train network, but it also just makes it a little bit slower to drive around on the truck. Not that it matters too much, though. I mean, the 17 tons of almonds, does it matter if they get there in 8 hours or 12? I guess it matters a bit for the companies to make more money. So, I mean, it's not like updating the highways would be a bad thing, but I'd rather focus on updating the train networks if I was in charge of the country. There's downtown up ahead. Looks very beautiful. Too bad we can't drive through it. Looks like a quaint little Eastern European city, Polish city. And one thing that's incredible is how industrial a lot of Poland is. I've noticed that on this game in the past, but I'm just noticing so much more detail. That church is beautiful, the Eastern Orthodox Church. Just so much more detail than I've ever noticed before from going on this. That 32-inch monitor that I have works wonders. It really does. Alright, see you later, Bialystok. I enjoyed my stay, but for now, we will have to come back another time. It's also nice to be able to drive through a city because we check off another city without having to make another delivery there. I don't intentionally get off of my main route to pass through cities to check them off. I think that's kind of cheating. If your route happens to take you through it, then it takes you through it. But if it doesn't, in my opinion, you should find another delivery that takes you to that city rather than, you know, get off your route. Wonder if they're extending this into a 4-lane. I don't know. This road's a little bumpy. I would assume that this is about to become more lanes of road or something like that. I have no idea. But they're not doing it down here, so I don't know. So they're definitely adding something to the area. That's scenic. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. That smokestack in the distance is kind of cool too. Beautiful, beautiful day. Beautiful, beautiful scenery. And, okay, 3:58. How long is it going to take for us to get past Warsaw? I'm worried that, like, if it's 6 hours, half of it's probably going to be to, like, here. I think we'll make it to there. I mean, it's going to be cutting it a little close. Maybe I should just stop in Warsaw. I mean, we're already almost 30 minutes into the video, so... But I think we'll do that. Let's see where there is to rest in Warsaw. As we learned from the last episode, it's better to play it safe. And just, you know, do things the right way, rather than be foolish. And, you know, risk another fine, which is not something that you want. Because our goal is to make money, and we gotta remember the proper way to do that. There's the loan installment, $556. No, I thought it was $1,000 a day. I guess it's only $500 a day. Not as bad as anticipated. Haha, alright, Mr. DSV. We know that you are a slow boy. It would be appreciated if you could speed up a little bit quicker than that. But I suppose not. And I guess you're turning right here anyway. Down the road that is forbidden for my truck. Oh, we got a cop right behind us too. So we gotta be really careful. Maybe he'll, please turn, please turn, please turn. No, the car too behind us turned, but the police officer did not, so we gotta be cautious of that. Alright, back up to 70 here. I love the villages and the farmlands too. That's another thing about Europe that I think is great, because it was not, you know, America was built around the car, right? So basically America, and I think I gotta make a whole video on this, because I talk about it a lot, and it's something I care about a lot. America was built around the car. Our suburbs sprawl for miles, right? The idea of urban sprawl. In Europe, even the small towns, look, it's a compact village, and then it's nothing outside of it. The cities are compact cities with nothing outside of it. It's a much better way to live, because you can walk everywhere. Or if you want to get to another town, there's probably a train or a bus or something that goes between the towns. Rather than if you live in the suburbs, everyone is so spread out that public transit doesn't really work. People become addicted to their cars, they start driving everywhere, they walk less steps. Obesity becomes a factor, health concerns become a factor, people become more antisocial because they're just confined to their suburban lifestyle and their white picket fence. And they really only associate with maybe a couple of neighbors, and they don't really see people on a daily basis. And I think it just does wonders for society to have a more compact way of living. And a lot of people who like, you know, to have a lot of land and a lot of space say, well, what about, you know, my ability to feel like I'm in the countryside? Well, that's why you live in a little village like that. I've talked to a lot of friends who don't like the city life, and I say, you know, and they say, I'd rather live in the city than the suburbs. And then I bring up, what about a small town, right? And they've all said that they'd be down for a small town. So I think that ideally, the suburbs are, you know, the suburbs are not ideal. I think small towns or big cities are really the best way to live. Because you have that community around you. You have the ability to walk. If you live in a small town, you can still have a nice house, a big yard. Or if you live in an outer neighborhood of a city, right, you still have it. But you still can walk to something. And I think that's such an important thing, to be able to walk and to be able to have a community around you, right? If you can walk to the store, or walk to the doctor, or walk to a bus stop that can take you to work, or a train station, that's so much better than having to drive everywhere in parking lots and urban sprawl and traffic. And it's just, number one, it's more scenic. The towns are more scenic. Number two, it's a healthier lifestyle. And number three, it's just, I don't know, better for society, better for the communities. That's just my opinion. It's something I feel kind of strongly about. And I feel like I've talked about it before in this series. I don't know. But if I haven't, that's kind of my gist on that. It's something that is kind of a big deal for me. I think moving forward, a lot of people, I mean, it's already proven that younger people want to live in cities more than in the suburbs. So I think it's kind of reversing. But they said what the problem is now, the cities are becoming so expensive because everyone wants to live in them. So the market prices go up a ton. And now people are moving to suburbs again because they can't afford to live in the city. So we gotta solve that problem if we're gonna make the cities more livable. And I think in America we gotta invest in small towns, because you know a lot of people don't like the city life, and I get that. I mean, people don't want the big city. It's noisy. It's a lot of people, and it's just kind of the hustle bustle lifestyle. And a lot of people want to just have the small town. So and we gotta invest in our small towns, right? Little towns, connect them by rail. You know. Have connections for people, and make it so people can live in towns, not need to walk, and kind of just, I don't know. I think the suburbs are a 20th century idea, and we're in the 21st century now, and I think, you know, it's going to be a long, long time before they're gone, but I think eventually, over the next 100 years, I think we're going to see a gradual dwindling of them, to the point where they'll be viewed as rough. It'll be a past way to live, right, where you gotta get in your car and drive to a shopping center, park in a parking lot, and then you go to another store in the same shopping center and you get back in your car to park on the other side of the parking lot. That's literally what people do. It's just such a 20th century idea to me, and such a, I don't know, unnecessary, backwards way of living. And I just don't really think it's a healthy lifestyle, but that's just my opinion. It is ironic as I'm playing a game that involves driving. A lot of people think when I say that I'm so anti-car, and I mean, they're right to a point. I'd like to live in a society where you don't need a car. But I still think there will always be a purpose for a car. I mean, if you live in a really small town that has a couple hundred or 1,000 people, you know, you're trying to get to another one, they're not all going to be connected by rail. I do appreciate this wildlife crossing, by the way. That's really cool. Good job, Poland. They're not all going to be connected, so, I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, cars are going to be worthless. I think we'll always have cars. I think that, or at least, you know, for the next 100 years. But I do think it's possible to also live in a day when cars are really going to be a thing of the past, and that there'll be some sort of public transit to take people everywhere. And I don't know, I just think that's probably going to happen. But will it be in my lifetime? I don't know. It'll be when I'm old at the earliest. If not, it'll be in 200 years from now, when cars are kind of a thing of the past. And of course, I could be wrong on that. I mean, cars could continue to become more popular. Who knows? But I think that they're, you know, at least going to become to... I think at least we'll get to a point where they're a lot less common than they are now, and a lot less popular. Alright. We are in Warsaw. Warsaw discovered, folks. So it's time to get us some sleep. The good old capital city of Poland here. I have been to this many times on my old profile, so this is nothing unfamiliar to me. I don't think I've come in from this side before. That's a nice proper skyline too. Nice to see a city with a good skyline. That's one thing that I would say, as much as the European cities are much better for walking, I think that the one thing American cities have overall that I think is better than in Europe is we have nice skylines, you know? Even, I'm from Pittsburgh. It's not a huge city. The metropolitan area is 2 million people. But the skyline's beautiful. The skyline at Pittsburgh is, you know, the same size skyline as a city in Europe that might have 6 million. So, I mean, we just have a great skyline. And there's a lot of other cities in the U.S. that have great skylines, too. And I think, you know, European cities, they're older. They don't have that as much. And I think I can appreciate a good skyline. As long as, I think the important thing is that some of those skylines, those have to be apartments in some of those buildings, or condos, or flats. If they're all just offices, then, I mean, I would rather have something where people are actually gonna, you know, live in. And I mean, some offices too. I don't have a problem with that. But I think that the building should be mixed use between offices and residential. Because that way you're getting full use out of the building. If no one's in all your skyscrapers at nighttime, then you're building a building that's only going to be used half of the time. That's not very efficient. That's just building a building for work. Build a building that people are going to use all day, you know? Mixed use development. Alright, we are going to sleep in the hotel tonight. What do we have left? 1 hour 50. We probably could have made it, but that's okay. It'll give us a little bit more driving in the next episode. We've gone about 35 minutes in this one anyway, so let's go ahead and park our truck. You know what? Let's play this realistically. What would I do with a trailer? Would I drop the trailer here and then move the truck back into the spot probably if this was real life? I would assume that's what would happen. So let's go ahead and back that up. Just back it straight up. And keep it out of everybody's way. Alright, that's good. Neutral, park and brake on. Let's detach the trailer. Oops, I hit the radio button. Alright, coupling. Is it detached? Alright, it is detached. So let's go ahead and remove the... Alright, now the trailer's removed. And now we can back into an actual parking spot and do this properly. Or we'll just go in forward. That won't matter. Alright, I think that's good. That way it's not sticking out in the middle of the area. Turn the engine off, park and brake on. And I'm not parked super great in that spot, but it doesn't matter. It's the end spot. So, in the next episode, guys, we'll pick up our trailer and continue the delivery. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. For now, we will see you in a couple days. I'm Mr. Affleck 9916. Peace.